Welcome in, friends, to Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel. Have you or someone you know made a trade lately? Are you struggling with trades in your league? Well, I'm not going to be prescribing any pills in this episode, just some players. But one subscription that you can fill is with Fantasy Pros on the YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button. Do it below. It won't hurt you, I promise. There's very little side effects as well. This video is brought to you by SoRare, the digital card company that meets fantasy game that is everywhere. But we'll talk about them in just a little bit. So trades, I've got some for you. In fact, I have some that I really love this go around. Some of my favorites that we've done in quite a while. And one I'm a little nervous about talking about just because of how chaotic everyone gets. But we'll get there. Let's start with the first one. First up is Atlanta Braves third baseman Austin Riley. I think people are pretty bored with Riley, as weird as it sounds right now. This year has totally been fine. 11 homers, 270 batting average. But I think the overreacher would look at Riley as being kind of a bit of a disappointment. I've actually seen that chatter out in the Twitterverse. Yet he's still projected rest of season to go over 30 homers and push 90-90 on the run and RBIs. Reasons to be positive though. On the year, he's at a 25% strikeout rate. But since May 22nd, he's batting .329, 4 homers in 18 games, and reduced that strikeout rate to 20%. He's also got the 15th best slugging percentage during that period of time that I was talking about. Here's my favorite though, is we've been seeing a pretty big decrease in his barrel percentage this year, from about 15 last year to 10 this year. That's really significant. But since May 22nd, that's my time period for this episode, he has the league's best barrel percentage of all hitters at 17.9%. Sometimes just the art of trade is poking around antsy owners and getting yourself a deal on a player who helps you the rest of the way through. Austin Riley, that's kind of my bag. I think you can get him cheaper than what he's going to return the rest of the season. Next up, we're going to the pitching market. How about Texas Rangers starting pitcher Jon Gray? Jon Gray so far this year, kind of meh. Maybe meh isn't even giving enough credit to him because he does have a good ERA. 2.32, 6 wins. That's positive. But the meh has been the strikeouts. It's been at a 4-year low of around 7 per 9. That ERA that he's supporting could kind of have his value raised up a little bit, but the chances are he just isn't seen in the expensive light, like he's an untouchable, untradeable player. Since our time period, May 22nd, he has a 7th best K percentage of 32.5. On the season, he's actually 22, so it's been a lot better as of recent. Since May 22nd, there's only been 10 pitchers with a 30% K rate. Obviously, he's one. Also, his walk rate is the second lowest of those 10 with 30% K percentage, and the 4th best K minus walk percentage at 29.9%. Some of his expected stats do tell a story that his ERA is going to bounce, as his Sierra is a little over 4, and he has an expected ERA that's 1.5 runs higher than his current rate. There's a possibility you might want to wait a start or two to get him even cheaper, but with the strikeout stabilizing and one of the best offenses in baseball behind him, I think Gray is a really good back into the rotation buy right now, and I just don't think it's going to be at that high of a cost. This video is brought to you by SoRare, because outside of Stratomatic, when have you had the chance to own the player product? In our new digital age, digital products have taken us by storm, and we now have the marriage of fantasy meeting cards meets digital card ownership. Sign up today at FantasyPros.com/collect. You can draft your first team, and then you can enter that team in weekly contests to win more and better cards each round. Not to mention the marketplace where you can buy and sell your digital cards. Sometimes things aren't quite as fun though without friends. Well, come and join Joe Pisapia and myself for the Leading Off League on SoRare. Go to FantasyPros.com/leadingoffleague. You can play against us and listeners every single week. We've also got some MLB.TV subscriptions on the line. Now, it's not going to be easy though. Corbin Carroll has been my rock this year. The very first videos, I said that's where my investment is. Julio's bouncing back, and even in Spencer Strider's struggles, he has been a monster for me. But Hopefully you haven't been playing Kevin Gossman against me recently, as he has been insane. Go and check it out today, fantasypros.com/collect to sign up. Then join the leading off league with us, because SoRare, the next era, is yours. All right, back to the trades, and coming in at number 3 for the week, Baltimore Orioles third baseman Gunnar Henderson. It took some time, but one of the most exciting rookies of 2023 that we kind of forgot about is finally getting it going. Gunnar's average has been a huge hole to go with a big strikeout rate this whole season, but he's starting to get that underway. That K rate is finally just tinkering under 30%, and he's getting it going in June. Gunnar is hitting over 400 in June, with hits in 6 of his last 7 games. Also, his comfortability is showing because as of Sunday, hit his 4th homer of the month. The things that have worked in his favor, the number one, has been his walk rate, but also you're seeing how those underlying things are starting to manifest in his adjustments, because he's a top 20% in the league for hard hit percentage and barrel percentage. Those two go together like peanut butter and jelly, and with results starting to happen, thank you very much. The hesitation has kind of been there all year though, to give up on Gunnar. Just didn't want to quite do it. This is the reason. But, 2 months of struggles, you can't blame anybody for getting rid of him. Maybe the cost will be a little too much now because he's starting to go, but concerned owners might see this as a chance to get out. And I would take a shot at a discount that you can get the rest of the good side of Gunnar without the 2 months of the albatross. Coming in at number 4, we're still acquiring Atlanta Braves starting pitcher Spencer Strider. It's the chef's kiss. Mwah! One of the best pitchers in baseball who's going through it, at least for a small period of time. That is perfect to me. It's a good time as well because the chatter is getting louder of like, hey, what's wrong with Spencer Strider? What's wrong with Spencer Strider? Well, he's got 3 games since May 1st where he's given up 3 or more runs, with most recent one being an 8 earned run outing, though he continues to pair it with the strikeouts. Last season, Strider actually only had 3 total games all year of 4 or more runs. Strider currently has a 3.79 ERA, but an expected ERA under 3 at 2.86, which is like a full run, and is about in line with his 2022 ERA. Strider actually has a higher K percentage this year than last, and one of my favorites is a higher whiff rate on all 3 registered pitches that he has this year over last year. Over the last 3 weeks, he has the 2nd highest K percentage and K per 9 behind only Kevin Gossman. He is showing some season velo dips, which I do think is something to not just go past. It's a little bit of concern. It's about a mile per hour off the fastball and slider, but guess what? Blinders are on for me for the best pitcher in baseball, so I am poking around at the complaining Strider owner. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Last one up here is the one I'm nervous about. Just even saying it is going to elicit anger and chaos, even though I was probably one of the loudest preachers of the buy. But hear me out on what we're talking about here, because the last one is a potential sell of Cincinnati Red shortstop, third baseman, Elly de la Cruz. Okay, here it is. I said pick him up. I even said that rest of season, he's somewhere between a top 5 and 8 shortstop. Okay, and I still believe all those things. So don't get like up crazy in arms, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. But all those things aside, that would be like a trade forward. This is a consider to trade away, and here's the reason. Crazy people out there in your leagues are wanting to buy Elly. I still believe all the things that I said, but if you've watched, first handful of games, you can see that talent. But there's also some underlining things, and there might be some potential bumps and bruises along the way. Anywhere from 30 to 45% K rate is a little bit of a problem. He's had over a 300 batting average with an XBA, very short sample size, of course, but it's down in the 200s. But my focal point here isn't about pressing a panic button or saying that he can't be good or any silliness like that. It is solely about people and their wild offers. I have seen Juan Soto's, Manny Machado's, Spencer Strider's, 2 top 20 starting pitchers as focal points to just acquiring Elly de la Cruz, and we are talking redraft here. They say the best time to trade a prospect is right when they're called up, but Elly, he's caused such buzz that these things are getting wild. So this is just me an Elly guy, saying consider or engage to see who is willing to overpay. And then if it's one of those trades where it's like, I have to do this, then do it. If it's not something that even seems like an overpay, then don't, because Elly is going to be great, no doubt about it. But just don't get it twisted that there isn't some potential bumps and bruises along the way. That's what I'm worried about. And I'm just talking to you guys about capitalizing, if you can capitalize on a major offer. So though I'm saying trade away Elly, it is only in that very, 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 very specific context. So now I'm absolutely terrified to look at the comments in the video after suggesting to even look at trading Elly, but you know, who knows? Maybe we'll have a flood of like level-headed, reasonable people in comments, right? Maybe I'll take a peek. You know who else will? The FantasyPros team, because we're always looking to give you guys a shot at winning a full premium account with FantasyPros and getting those amazing tools that are going to help you dominate your league. As always, thank you for putting up with me, and thanks for stopping by. I hope the trade videos have helped you in like some way this season, and if so, make sure you subscribe and give a little thumbs up if you will. Follow me on Twitter at IsItTheWelsh, and I'll see you Monday through Friday on Leading Off at 12:30 p.m. right here on the FantasyPros YouTube channel. Until next time, my friends, have a great one, and may your trades be glorious. Goodbye.